Yes, sir.
Yep.
All ready for some high school football on News 12 now! Here we go again. Another season is upon us, and we have some new faces.
How you feel?
In some new places, but the same old great highlights on this week 1 edition of the Blitz. We kick things off with a powerhouse matchup. Wallace-Rose and Havelock have more talent than you can shake a stick at. We find out who won this premier matchup. Slobber knocker alert. Rival Southwest Onslow and Jacksonville had a hard-hitting affair in the Phil Paget Bowl.
That's dungeon work.
And North Lenore and Green Central had their annual Battle Royale, this time in Wheat Swamp. Hey, let me know if you're excited for our first Freaky Friday.
Whoa!
The Blitz starts now, baby! Let's go!
Welcome into another award-winning edition of The Blitz. I'm Brian North, Luke Schwartz along with me for another season. And boy, have we got a lot going on here in week 1 as we are here on the Blitz Extra. We want to show you some stuff you did not see on the Friday Night Blitz. So let's get started with our Blitz Premier matchup. Havelock, number 1 in our News 12 poll. Wallace-Rose Hill, number 3. And Jalen Hewitt, he is the star. He's the guy who came over from West Carteret, who has set all sorts of passing records there, and his favorite target already is ECU commit Johnny Williamson. Johnny Williams gets the touchdown. Kevin Motzinger says we knew he was fast, but man, he looked really fast tonight. Well, back comes that defense. Donovan Darden, he is the South Carolina commit, showing why with a quarterback sack off the edge. Irving Brown, the Wallace-Rose Hill star, he was out with a knee injury, and the offense for the Bulldogs, they struggled just a bit as they were picked off 3 different times. They also fumbled once. And even Brett Wooten, bad ankle, no problems. He was all smiles because here comes LeBron Sharp. He had 2 touchdown runs, changed his number to 0 this year, but he likes to score 6. He did that a lot. The Railbirds were pumped, including Mo and all his buddies, as Jalen Hewitt threw for more than 400 yards, and it helps when you got a guy like Jonathan Williams. Doesn't go down. Look how tough number 7 is. Brent Wooten said after the game, it can be a lot faster and a lot tougher when you're not getting hit 40 times a game like he did last year playing quarterback.
And he's going to South Carolina?
He's going to ECU. And Jalen Morgan would get 2 TD catches from Jalen Hewitt, who threw 4 of them. Havelock gets the big win, 50-14.
And offensively, we're just so dynamic. We got weapons all over the place, so I couldn't be more pleased for our opening game. I think we got some penalties we need to clean up, but ultimately, like, the guys are playing hard, doing what they're asked to do. I'm pretty pleased where we're at right now.
Kevin Motzinger, though, he's got a good squad. They played hard. Look, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be shaking their heads when they play Havelock this year.
And next up for Havelock, they will host Laney. The Buccaneers open their season in Wilmington by hosting D.H. Conley. Christian Hawley with a big completion, tackled inside the 10. The Bucs would go for the field goal, now up 3-0. But Colby Little, a nice pass deep and to complete to Kilby Theis Dixon for a long catch and run for the touchdown here. Nobody's going to get him. Take it back. Bucs up 7-3 on Conley. And then Krishawn Williams, open space. No one's going to tackle him because he's got those neon shoes on as the Buccaneers get the win 21-17 against D.H. Conley.
Michael Jordan's alma mater looking good. Also, J.H. Rose opened his season in Wilmington, too. The Rapids played at New Hanover. The photographer who was supposed to be at the game had to cover breaking news. So our man Clay Medlin stepped in and provided us with these highlights. Rose comes up just short, 13-7 on the turf of Legion Field at New Hanover.
And one of our big rivalry games to open every season is the Slobber Knocker. What does that even mean?
That's what it sounds like. There's slobber when you knock each other around the field, right? It's affectionately, we like to call it the Phil Paget Bowl, after the Jacksonville alum who was a Hall of Fame coach at Southwest and, of course, was a good player for the Cardinals.
And well, they met in the Bird's Nest this year. Bobby Simpson Field already up 28-0 in the third quarter. A.J. Washington just playing with some house money here, not going down for 1, 2, 3 tackles, going, oh, I could have had that longer. Head coach Charlie Dempsey just wants his guys to finish here in the fourth quarter. So Tate Whitehead on the reverse sweep, stretching it out and scoring for the Stallions. Whew! Brian, no shutout today. Bo Williams, though, just saying, hey, come on, let's finish this game out. Smiling. Jacksonville wins 28-14, their 10th straight win over the Stallions dating back to 2014 as they start the season 1-0, winning 28-14.
Next up for Jacksonville, another rivalry game. They'll visit White Oak. The Vikings went on the road, made the trip to Beaufort to take on East Carteret, who's back to the blue helmets. The Mariners, first play from scrimmage, Damian Boggs boggling the mind with a 45-yard run right up the Vikings defense. Then Luke McIntosh completed a fourth down pass, and this one to Jaden Watson set him up at the goal line for the 6-0 lead. B.J. Frazier's newest bundle of joy was all excited with Grandma, but White Oak, they're excited because they have Trey Maggio back at running back. Number 4 going a lot longer than 4, following his blockers all the way down inside the 5. Get that far, you might as well feed the man again. Maggio is going to score here. And B.J. Frazier, he's got a lot of good skill players, but just outmanned in the trenches tonight as Maggio and company get the win. 68-18. Looking forward to the big game with Jacksonville next week.
And speaking of Jacksonville, how about Northside Jacksonville, who hosted Clinton? Their new head coach, Johnny Boykin, and his offensive coordinator, former South Lenore head coach Will Harrell, up 37-0 on Clinton. Reminder, this was a 1-10 team last year, but Anthony Cooper says forget about that, nearly running into our camera guy. The fans were loving it in the stands. And how about the night for freshman quarterback Caleb Robinson, playing like a seasoned veteran, his 4th touchdown pass of the night as head coach, handing out the high fives, and the defense was just as good, forcing a shutout in a brilliant 44-0 home opener. Yeah, not the same team as last year, Brian.
How about Croatan coming off a playoff appearance, hit the road to take on a Washington team starting year 2 under Matt Taylor. Chucky Wagner Stadium, always a fun place to watch teams play. The Croatan defense enjoyed playing there as they stuffed that Pam-Pack offense. Matt Taylor was not happy about it, trying to fire up his team. Croatan cheerleaders say, hey, we're on the other side. We're firing up our team, including Andrew Boucher for the score. Croatan gets the win on the road, 21-6.
And south side of North Dukeland had their annual opener, this time up in the Calypso area. What a night for Coral Phillips in the backfield. 17 carries, 195 yards with 5 touchdowns for the Rebels as Hugh Martin's crew in the green and gold get the big-time victory, 50-8 over the Seahawks.
We've got plenty more highlights to show you on the Blitz Extra, some you didn't see on the regular Blitz, but first, let's check out our Coastal Carolina Community College fans in the stand. Yes, they were all dressed for the Hawaiian theme in Swansboro. How would the Beasley era start? We know how the Havelock game started. Mo and company happy with their win. More highlights are next.
Well, hey, thank you for watching the Blitz. Let's check in on our Freaky Friday game. Mike Twitchell grew up in Oriental as a Pamlico County alum and former Hurricanes football coach, but now he's the head coach of West Craven.
I remember when he played there, covered him there, and I remember covering Bobby Griffin. He's a former West Craven football star who's now the head coach at Pamlico. So they both had to make sure they went to their proper sidelines tonight in Bayboro. Nice moment before the game at Jeff Cowell Memorial Stadium. Pamlico retiring Doug Smith's jersey. The former Hurricane star played at ECU, Auburn, in the NFL with the Oilers. He died last month. Mike Twitchell on the opposite sideline said, "Whoa, this is not how I want things to start," as Pamlico had the early touchdown. But then check this out. Here comes West Craven with that vaunted passing game. R.J. Davis finding Cuthbertson for the score. And then one more time, R.J. Davis. So good, the junior quarterback, certainly getting some looks. This time he finds Xavier Cuthbertson again. Well, here comes Mr. Hindley again for Pamlico. As they were sticking around, Bobby Griffin really hoping his team will improve. But Mike Twitchell says the view from the opposite sideline, I'm pretty good with it. R.J. Davis this time. R.J. Lancaster, who's going to take it in. He's the guy that a lot of people are watching, going to have a big year. And West Craven gets the victory over Pamlico, 50-20.
And next up for the Eagles, they will host East Dukeland. The Panthers travel to Dixon tonight, where Keyshawn McKinney with a long touchdown run. Dixon wasn't even paying attention and said, hey, the end zone's wide open. Why don't I take it? Another one, Sean Davis had 10 carries, 265 yards, 49-23. The final, Panthers get the win.
James Keenan also played at Onslow County. The Tigers travel to Swansboro.
Rodney Beasley made his head coaching debut for the Pirates at Earl Taylor Field, but James Keenan would strike first. Cal Avent just muscling his way in there, the elbow and ball goes across it. Coach Rodney Beasley, the two-time Purple Heart recipient of scores in Iraq, said, let's go. Come on. Austin Zeckler, 4th and 12, finding his guy, Jordan Coleman, down the sidelines. That gets the fans fired up. And check out that pink flamingo hat. I want one. But it was the defense that swarmed and gobbled up the Pirates. Hassan Cornegate, that's the reason why he's the preseason player of the year, as James Keenan wins 48-6 off some great defense.
A new coach has taken over in Martin County. We forgot to change our helmets again. It's Hunter Jenks. He's a Wake Forest native who played offensive line at Elon from 2002 to 2005 and was previously the head coach at Clayton, South Johnston, and Vance County. And now he's at Martin County, where they're going to have a Gator logo coming up a little bit later, but they haven't got it in. They just became the Gators. He made his coaching debut for Martin County against neighbor North Pitt. And he had the lead early on, but North Pitt, watch this defense. Dominic Tyson, that is called a pick six. North Pitt comes back and they get one at the Swamp. They beat Martin County 34-32.
And up in that area, Washington County had a special heritage game. They played in Creswell. Creswell and Plymouth consolidated in 2018 to form Washington County. This was the first varsity football game at Creswell since then, so they hosted Kip Pride, a Tiger squad. They beat pretty big last year and doing it again this year. Number 20 there finding his way to the sideline as the Panthers didn't dominate the way they wanted to like last year, but still get the win in this one, 22-8 for Ben James.
Everybody wants to be 1-0, and they are. New feature this year, our coin toss game sponsored by the Air Force. All the dignitaries at center field before the game. Farmville Central was in the end zone the rest of the game. Elijah Abel was able to get in a couple of times, and that had them excited. Ron Cook says, don't sleep on us. Yeah, we lost Landon Donovan, yeah, we lost some other guys, but they didn't lose. Jamarian McDowell, yeah, Alex Moy, who's at ECU. 41-6, Farmville dominates at Goldsboro.
And Aiden Grifton kicked off their season at home, host to Wilson Prep team. They upset last year. Tigers ranked in the top 15 in the state. Tigers not looking too good here on offense, as EJ Ruffin says, I'll take that lunch money going the other way for the pick six, putting up the finger and hopping with his boys. Then flip it to the other side on offense. The Chargers looking good as Nate Brooks finding his go-to man and Zamir Nelson for the long touchdown. Actually, just a long gain. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's EJ Ruffin on the offensive side doing it again, but this time he's going to power his way in for the score, plunging it in, but in overtime, Wilson Prep going to steal the win back from the Chargers, yanking it from them 34-28 in walk-off fashion.
How about Richlands made the trip to the southernmost part of our state? That would be Southport in Brunswick County to take on South Brunswick. And Richlands in the white unis and the yellow helmets playing some defense, and they would get the win. They'd stuff those Cougars 28-14. Really good road win to start the year for Pat Bird and Richlands. He really likes the way this team is made up, and they show why with that road victory on the turf in Southport.
And north side of Beaufort County opened its season at Camden County. Keith Boyd's squad. Oh, what a tossing dime right here. Can't really tell from the video, but this one's a big time run and score looked to be about 70 yards as Northside gets the win 24-3 on the Bruins. That's about an hour and a half drive for them.
John Paul II opened its season at home against Wake Christian, and Wake, the visiting Eagles, they're going to score first on the turf in Greenville, but then Sean Murphy's squad is going to try to come right back. Those winged helmets for another season. They're going to get in the end zone here, but in this back and forth affair, Wake Christian is going to get the win on the road, beating John Paul 28-16. Let's clean things up with our Keller Law Firm scoreboard, where we saw Tarboro. Oh, they look good again. They took out Rocky Mount, shut them out 30-0. While Northeastern put it to Bertie. The Falcons will have their first home game in a couple of years next Friday night, and Rosewood fell to Aycock in a Wayne County rivalry game. Our highlights are coming up next, including our Battle Royale. Here we go, time for our Battle Royale. Green Central and North Lenore facing off in their annual Battle of Browntown. North Lenore with their new green helmets. It's actually called Philly 82 green from the Philadelphia Eagles of 1982. Now you know.
The two schools located just 11 miles away from each other. All they have to do is just cross the county border to play each other.
Let's check out the highlights in Wheat Swamp, where it was a low-scoring game, and then Green Central up 7-0, but North Lenore threatening in the red zone. Cameron Vanderford. Mr. Vanderford steps in for Green Central, and he's going to take that one all the way back, deep into North Lenore territory. That's where DeJuan Cobb says, I got you from here. He's going to turn it into a rushing touchdown as Jay Wilson trying to get his team back. You know, they were 10-2 a couple of years ago, setting some school records. He's liked this team with the JVs coming up. They've been very good. Well, Larry Dale, new grandfather, trying to get his guys to stop them. Michael Suggs Jr. keeps adding on the points for Green Central. Whoops, that's the only issue with the celebration. Early on in the year, we'll be all right. Green Central was at 25-0 to make Jay Wilson one happy dude.
You know, the first thing we do in practice every day is defense. So it's just a matter of us trusting what we do and being in the right place.
It's a great start. Got a big game next week. Hopefully win it.
I want everybody in our conference to know, everybody that we playing to know that the round's back. And we ready to take back what's ours.
The win. All right, just down the road, Kinston had its season opener with South Central in Lenoir County. Kinston looking to start the year 1-0, hosting the Falcons. and Tyler Jones making a play for Kinston, but Bobby Williams says no, sir, makes the big sack, ending the first quarter, pointing to his back. Oh yeah, Bobby. Now to the second quarter, Jones responds in a big way, looking, finding Xavier Kroom for the long completion down the field. Points forward, the cheerleaders saying, oh, let's go. South Central would get the ball back on a turnover, turning it in 2 points on this Flavon Akande rushing score. And in this one, that final, South Central gets the win 34-7.
Let's check out our bonus game. Something had to give. Liberty Christian looking for its first win in program history. Traveled to Jones Senior. The Trojans playing 8-man football for the first time and trying to end their 15-game losing streak. Well, a short touchdown made Stephen Perry, the new head coach at Jones Senior, very happy, and they would add on to that. More scores, something they haven't seen in a few years in Trenton. 34-0. Jones Senior breaks its 15-game losing streak. Liberty Christian still looking for that first win.
And New Bern opened its season on the road at Willow Spring. Thanks to Jonathan Davis and New Bern Live. How about Terrence McCormick? 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing, including this huge throw and catch, taking it all the way as the Bears get the season opening win 51-7 on the road. They'll be 4 hours away next week.
Yeah, go to Northern Guilford next week. How about Southwest Edgecombe shutting out their neighbors to the north? Well, Perquimans shutting out Manteo, and Eastern Wayne winning the Battle of Wayne County over Southern 38-0. And one more scoreboard for you. It was Fike over Beddingfield, and Spring Creek no match for Lakewood. Hey, thank you for watching Week 1 here on the Blitz Extra. We'll see you next week, and going to be some more highlights. Labor Day weekend, some games on Thursday, so keep an eye out.